All right, are we live? Yep, we're live. Hey, what up, everybody? I am Lou. Today's Friday, and you know what today is? It's drinking with Lou. So the bottle I'm drinking today is the Terramana tequila. So those of y'all may be aware of it. This is the Rocks tequila, and so there, there's a lot of celebrity tequila out there. This is the only one so far that I have heard of, anyways. That I think the process, man, the way they make it seems legit. I say seems because I need to do more research, but um, it's I'm very interested. I'm very interested in tasting it to see how it tastes. So I'll get this opened up in a few. So I'm gonna wait for a few people to join in, and then we'll get started. But again, those of you who are joining, thanks for joining. Let's give it a few minutes while we get a few other people joining in. Let's see. So let's see. Damn it. What the hell's going on? I have an issue with my Twitter account for some reason. Again, we'll get started in a few. Gonna give it a few minutes. Try to get some people to join. And then we'll talk. Let's see. Oh, you know what I need to do? Shit. I need to change. I just realized right now. I think my live stream. Let me check. Yep, never mind. My live stream's good on YouTube, but I think on Twitch, I need to fix that. It's probably showing because I've been streaming Halo on Twitch, and I think, man, yep, it's the streaming Halo. Shit, I'm not streaming Halo. All right, let me get that updated and get that fixed right quick. Streaming with Lou, blah blah blah. Let's get that changed. All right, cool. Got that fixed. Let's see, what was I gonna do? So anybody who's joining, So what we do every Friday, we I would talk about a new drink. So I've been into tequilas lately, and to this week my tequila choice is Terramana tequila, which is probably better known as the Rocks tequila. Y'all may have had it. I haven't had it before. I've seen it before. Um, wasn't sure. It's always kind of rough dealing with with celebrity type tequilas, right? You never know what kind of quality you're gonna get, right? But I have heard some good things about it. I heard some bad things about it too, but I think some of the bad things that I have heard is more related because it's a celebrity type tequila. So it's always kind of, I don't know, man. It's kind of tough, right? But nevertheless, though, I got it, and I'm gonna test it out and see how good it tastes, man. Let's see. Okay, there it goes. So let me do this. So anybody out there who's a tequila drinker, what's your drink of choice? I guess like what type of tequila do you like? Is it your main, your big tequila like Patron or 1800, or there's some other like smaller brand tequilas? The more I've been drinking tequila and kind of getting more familiar with tequila and tasting like the difference of authentic tequila, you want to call it, right? Like being made the authentic way, not adding sugars to it to make it sweet, right? To make it like the vanilla flavors or whatever. There's a difference, man. I have come to know that there is a difference of taste and flavor, and I seem to be leaning more towards the authentic tequilas. Um, there's something about like the agave, the smell, the flavor. Like man, it's awesome. Like I'm a big fan of it. Big fan of it. So that's why I'm interested in Terraman, Terramana tequila, which is the rocks tequila. So I'm interested in popping this bad boy open, taking a sip, and see how good this bad boy tastes. So let's go ahead and bust this bad boy open. So my type of alcohol is tequilas, bourbon, and whiskeys. Now, here's the thing. I actually asked somebody this question, and I could not get a straight answer. Maybe because they don't know, right? But the answer, the question I asked was, What's the difference of a bourbon and a whiskey? The only so-called answer that I got is um, A, I don't know, but B, a bourbon is high quality whiskey. So of course my next question was, well, what makes it high quality? Like what if that's the case, right? Maybe somebody in the stream knows better, but if that is the case, man, my camera out of focus. Need to get another camera. Well, the camera that I have is a Canon M50 camera. What happened here? What the hell? All right, let's try again. So the camera that I have is a Canon M50 camera, and the issue with the camera, of course, is it doesn't stay. What the hell happened with my thing, man? Are you kidding me? Dude, my damn. Yeah, this doesn't make no damn sense, man. It was just working right now. So here's the thing with the Canon M50. In order to keep it active and keep it rolling, because it times out after 30 minutes. It just what happens, right? But in order to keep it going, you have to. Let me see. You have to, like, normally what I do, I have the app, the what is the Canon, the Camera Connect, the Canon app right on my phone. And when I connect to it, it works fine. It worked fine not that long ago. I had it connected. I just happened to switch over and I was doing something else on my phone. So I have the Galaxy Fold. And so what happens on some of the apps, when you have the main app, let's say if I have an app open on my front screen, right? And then I decide to open it up. It's rebooting, but I decide to open it up, which is my internal screen. What happens? Some of the apps have to reset themselves. So, uh, some apps adjust, like they adjust to the full screen. Some apps stay open when you in the big screen, but it's still like the mobile version, right? Instead of being more like the tablet version, I guess, or whatever, it's more still like the mobile version. So you kind of like the app is literally down like in the middle of the screen. They have other apps where they just kind of close out automatically or they crash. I don't want to say they crash, but I get a message saying must restart. So I had to click on restart, and it ends up restarting the app in that bigger or smaller version, right? So if I have it open, it does the same thing. Whenever I close it and I try to open up the app, it tells me I have to restart, or again vice versa. I don't know if that's what happened with this app, if that caused some issues. That's kind of what I'm trying to see if that's the case. If not, I'm gonna have to turn off my camera. There it goes. Seems to be connected now. Ooh, that's what it was. All right. So I had to just reboot my phone, but it seems to be good now. Damn, I should have opened up my phone. Full screen. That's fine. Either way, it seems it's connected. So at least now, because I have it active on my phone, and it's connected to my camera um, via Wi-Fi, the streaming could continue on longer than 30-minute span. If not, the camera will turn off. Then I have to like manually turn it off, turn it back on, and then of course, that just sucks because I mean, from a streaming standpoint, you don't want to keep turning off and on your camera every 30 minutes because it's gonna shut off. So this is a workaround, but it sucks because there have been times where I forget to keep this active. So even though I'm active right now, but when my phone goes to sleep, eventually disconnects from the camera, and then if I pass the 30-minute mark from that point on, then the camera turns off. So yeah, I mean it does suck, but either way, it's it's a workaround for now, and then eventually I'll end up getting a um I'll end up getting a better camera later. So that's it is what it is. Again, so let me go ahead and pop open this bottle. Make sure I pronounce it right. Terrimana tequila. So you always notice that the tequila that I buy, it's always the blanco tequilas. Not that I have anything against the other ones, but I'm just a fan of the blanco. I just am. Um, I'm pretty sure there's some other ones out there that are not blanco that are probably even better, but at least I know from a overall flavor standpoint, I do love me my blanco. You know what? Before I smell it, let me pour. So I'm looking at the cap of it. Is this rubber or what is it? Maybe hard rubber, plastic. It feels kind of cheap. And let me rephrase it. So a lot of the tequila that I buy, especially the one that I feel that are more like authentic, it's always the tops. These tops are corks, kind of like like a wine bottle, right? It just kind of gives it that more authentic feel. This one feels more plastic, rubbery mixture. Um, it probably works fine. Probably doesn't change anything from a quality standpoint. It just it feels cheap, man. It almost feels like they would have went with the cork. It just gives it the more authentic type look. So I'm not sure why they did it that way. Um, from a bottle standpoint, I would say there's nothing special to it, right? I don't get the gluten free. Like it's kind of like why put gluten free? Like isn't all tequila's gluten free? I mean, if that's the case, it's like everything's gluten. It's like saying you buy a bag of spinach, and they put on their gluten free spinach, or they put on their cholesterol free. Like, well, what the hell? No, duh, it's damn vegetable. There is no cholesterol on vegetables, right? I mean, it's like I don't get. I don't know why they do that, but the label, it just nothing special, plain bottle. It has like this shape to it, which I think is nice, but overall, there's nothing special to it, right? So at least from a design standpoint, it doesn't have nothing special. Like when you look at Patron, it has a unique style on the bottle, and I think that's what makes it attractive to people. And then of course it has that more sweet, like it goes down smooth type taste because of the not preservatives, but the some of the sugars and things of that nature that they put into the bottle. But again, I'm more into trying to find more authentic type tequilas. Um, so let's smell. Oh, we gotta do the smell test. Dude, this smells good. I gotta say, this smells good. You know what this kind of smells to me a little bit? Like, let me grab the bottle. So this is the bottle Cabo Wobble. This is the one I was drinking last week, and dude, this is a the smell and the taste was awesome, dude. Like and everything about it, I liked it a lot. From a price, I feel like right at that good price point too. $35. So it wasn't like Patron or some of the other ones, which is what the hell is Patron nowadays? What like $45 or so, $50 for the silver. Um, like this is 35 and it was good, dude. Flavor was good, smell was good, taste awesome. I haven't tasted this yet, but this one has the same kind of smell, and I'm liking it, man. I'm liking it a lot. Let's do the taste. Give it one more taste. So my initial thoughts on this bottle, the smell, I like it. I like it a lot. It smells real good. It reminds me a lot like this bottle. This one smells real good. The taste is good. So the reason why I'm not saying great, I'm saying good. There's something about it, and I don't want to say it's something in a bad way, but there's something about it that's I'm trying to still register in what it is. I feel like when I drink it, I get that taste of some agave up front, but then it goes away quickly. Where I feel this one, I get that taste of agave up front, but it stays and goes away slowly. And that's kind of what it feels like. Like you taste the agave, and then there's something else. Either the agave just goes away completely, and you just taste the alcohol afterwards, or I'm just trying to see what is that other flavor, I guess, that I'm tasting. I don't know if it's agave. I think it's something else. I taste something else. I don't know what it is though. I'm trying to pinpoint what it is. I'm trying to see what, and I don't know if it's just the brick oven process or what, but there's something that I taste. It's not bad though. Here's the thing about it. This is not bad. This is actually good. I think for the price point, I believe this was $29, which is not bad. This is $35, which I think is right on point. Like it's a good price point. Out of these two, if I had to pick, I would probably pick this one. But I think when I compare both of these from a per price standpoint, and this is 30, this is 35, they're probably very similar overall. Like if I was looking for something and I was on a budget and I don't want to spend again no more than $30, then I could see myself buying this, which is not bad. But I think if you were tight on a budget, you were actually tight, budget wise, I would probably recommend something like, let's see, this guy right here. This one is about $26, maybe 25, and this is good, man, for the price. I like the flavor. How do you pronounce this? Soero tequila. Just look at it's the bunny tequila. Put it that way. This is good for the price. Again, it's about 25, $26. Um, so if you're looking for something on a budget that's good, that is again has those authentic type flavors and processing and so on, this will probably be my recommendation to get. Um, if I'm gonna buy something because I'm gonna just have a little get together, I'm looking for something that I could sip on, I'm gonna just like and enjoy. I'm buying this bad boy. This is the one that I'm buying. Like it's a nice. I love the price point, dude. Price point is on point, right? $35. That's awesome. I think if that bottle was like $40, even $40, I'll be like, okay, I'll buy it. I probably wouldn't buy it as much though. I think because it's 35, I would actually buy it a little bit more. Like I may buy it a few more times than not, because of the price point. This is not bad. Again, I love the smell. Smell is on point. The taste, you kind of taste it up front. There's something else that I'm tasting. I'm not sure what it is, man. I can't pinpoint to what that extra taste is. I'm trying to process. I'm trying to, see what it is. I'm not sure. it has this other taste. I can't figure out what it is. I feel like you get the agave taste up front, and then there's this other taste right after that's slightly different. Maybe it's the agave that I'm tasting, but because of how it was, cooked, perhaps it has a slightly different flavor. Maybe, right? If that's what that may be it. And that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's a bad taste, but it's different than what I have tasted on other tequilas, which is why I'm trying to figure out what is it. Is it the agave? Maybe got cooked a little bit different because it does feel like you taste the agave up front, but then it switches to this other taste, and then after that it kind of just goes away. That's where I like this one. I feel this one you taste the agave, and then the agave flavors stay. Um, hey, Green Buddy. Yeah, man, I'm doing good, man. Doing real good. Just doing my normal live stream that I've been doing on Fridays. I believe this is my third Friday doing it, and the plan is to continue to do this going forward. And again, it's called Drinking with Lou. So that's what we're gonna pretty much do. I'm gonna drink. Right now, I've been into tequilas a lot, so I'm tasting different tequilas, kind of giving my feedback on certain tequilas on what I think. What am I listening to? Well, right now I'm not listening to nothing because I'm streaming. But in general, just when I overall haven't listened too much to at least not newer music, man. I do um, every once in a while, but I think my music of choice is a lot of old school music, of course. Old school rap and so on. Some of the new school stuff I do listen to. The baby, for example. It just depends, but most of the time, just kind of when I am working and listening to stuff, um, listen to like sports radio, right? Just kind of keep up with everything with the Mavs, the Cowboys, things of that nature. Robert, is that what it is? Robert Rabbit? Oh no, I see. My bad. So what kind of music is that? I don't think I've heard of that person before. Do they do is it like R&B? Is it pop, rap, country? How's everything going with you on Friday? Are you just chilling? Are you drinking? If you are drinking, what are you drinking? Again, I'm drinking some tequila, and this is the bottle that I'm drinking today. So I'm testing it out, which is better known as the Rock Tequila. Um, I think it's good, but kind of what I was saying earlier on my stream, this Cabo Wabo, out of these two bottles, I would pick this guy, Cabo Wabo. Man, this tequila is real good. I actually love that tequila, and it's at a good price point. Nice, nice. Yep, that's what I'm doing too, man. Just gonna get my drink on and just kind of talk with everybody who's joining. And right now, man, it's kind of we're just talking about different subjects, right? Sometimes we talk about tech, programming, some latest technologies, or just other stuff as well. Whatever people, um, whatever people want to talk about for now. So I just got started, so not drunk yet, not buzzing yet, which is good. But I'm pretty sure by the end of the night I'll be having a nice little buzz. Still on my first drink, but I still have a lot more tequila to go. Man, just checking. I had an issue. What the hell's going on over here? Cause I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch, and had an issue on Twitch for some reason, but I think it's good now. No, man, you're good. I mean, uh, again, if you want to know anything about tech, man, you could ask me whatever questions you want, right? We don't have to talk about tech right now. We just talk about different things, man. The main things that I do talk about when we talk about different subjects, and a lot of it has to do because a lot of the people that join my live streams, they're either joining because of a lot of my videos that I make on YouTube are tech related, right? Like Python programming and things of that nature. But I talk about business as well, or I just talking about drinks because that's what I'm doing now. I'm just drinking, so those are kind of the main subject in ways. But um, so far, I got a few viewers on Twitch, and then of course on YouTube, and yeah, nobody has really asked anything yet about any tech related topics. So right now, we just talk about whatever. All I'm talking about right now is my tequila, and what I was telling folks is, again, Cabo Wabo, man, this is a nice tequila, especially for the price. I want to say it was $35, but I think it's worth it, man, because it tastes like I'd rather buy this than like Patron or 1800. This is a nice tasting tequila, at least in my opinion, right? I mean, again, I would buy that. I would. This is a bottle that I would buy like multiple times. There's some other tequila that I have bought that honestly I would not drink anymore. It's buy it once, taste it, and wasn't a fan of it, and move on. Buy it. I just get something else. Hey, but if you do have any questions related to tech, man, feel free. You could ask me whatever it is, man. I mean, I know a lot of the times I get people asking questions about like how do I get into becoming a programmer? Like, what do I need to do? How well does being a programmer pay? Because it all depends, right? Like, depends on where you live. Again, I'm in Texas. The cost, the pay for a programmer in Texas does vary compared to, let's say, California. But nevertheless, though, it all depends on, if you're an entry level programmer. In Texas, an entry level programmer, you're not going to get the top pay. You're going to get probably, I don't know, anywhere between $40 to $60,000. Probably kind of the more realistic number that you would get at the entry level programmer here in Texas. And then, of course, in California, the whole different story. Over there, entry level programmer, especially if you work for like a big company like Google, for example, dude, they're gonna pay you around with bonuses and incentives, like stock incentives and all that. I mean, you're getting paid probably around like $210,000 a year, with all of that. But in the same time, though, the cost of living in California, it's crazy, dude. Like, I mean, you're pretty much paying an arm and leg. $4,000 easy a month to kind of live in a little small studio apartment type deal. So it just depends, on all of that. But like again, I've been programming already for a while. Um, I enjoy what I do. That's the thing about it. So this is the way I see it, man. Some people get into programming because whenever I first started, um, it had nothing to do with because it paid well. Honestly, I didn't even hear much about. I'm pretty sure they were paying well, but it wasn't one of those things that you heard much about, right? So I didn't hear I just got into it because I got exposed to it. So I was actually working. Um, I was a warehouse employee at one point, and eventually I got moved up to the office to do some other work. And I was working with this guy. He was a software developer, and he was being asked to do some like SQL reporting. Like, hey, can you build this report? And we need some SQL. We need to build a SQL view for this report, and he know how to do it. He just didn't want to do it. It's kind of the whole, well, why? What the hell? I don't want to do it. Uh, Either way, he was just kind of like taking his sweet ass time. He really didn't want to do it. I was like, dude, that looks, in my mind, I was like, somebody who wasn't a programmer, but I was just like, dude, that looks cool. I want to learn how to do it. Like, what is it? He told me it's SQL, blah, blah, blah. Dude, I went home, started researching the crap out of SQL servers, being more specific. Um, and just started learning it, man. The next 2 weeks, like spending hours every day learning it, just kind of trying to get familiar with it. Eventually, I asked him like, "Hey, do you mind if I work on that? Like, I'll work on that if you want. Like, I'll give it a try. You could work on your other stuff." He was like, "Sure, go ahead." And so that's what I did. I end up working on that SQL view. And here's the thing: the SQL view was crap, but it worked. At the end of the day, it worked. But when I looked at it, it was crap because I had subquery within subquery within subquery within. So it was like subquery hell, pretty much, man. From a performance standpoint, even though it ran like in, I don't know, 45 seconds, in my mind, like, hey, it ran, like it works, right? It ran, it works, so it's good. Um, I look back at it like, dude, that view was not optimized at all, dude. Like, that view should have been running in a matter of like 2-3 seconds, not 45 seconds. But hey, it worked. So, and everybody died like, hey, you did it. And of course, that was kind of where I got my foot in. And then there was more requests. I'm like, yeah, send it my way, I'll do it. And I did. And eventually got myself a spot. I got asked from the IT manager to become part of the IT team. Um, and man, ever since then, I've been doing tech type work. This was like some years back. What are we now? 2022? This would have been, shit, when was this? This would have been probably around like 2012, maybe. I don't know, 10 years ago, I guess. It's been a while, man. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while. And then, of course, been doing it since then. Then now I got my own company, got my own business. I got a small team, and dude, everything's working out pretty well. Can't complain. But again, I think being a programmer, dude, it's a I think it's an awesome experience. Even if you try it out and you realize, I don't want to do it, that's fine. But you know what? If you at least start it and at least have the fundamentals, right, understanding what it is, I do feel it changes on how you think, your thinking process. You see things differently. Maybe because you become a little bit more logical, like process oriented. You kind of have to when you're writing. Again, when you're writing code, there's a lot of logic involved, right? There's a lot of, if this happens and this happens next, else something else happens, and then you got to do X, Y, and Z. Like, you think of all of these, what's the word? These, you think of all these different paths of what could, like, man, what's the word I'm trying to think? Different outcomes, right? If you log in, you need to check if this person is able to be authenticated. If it comes back that they can't, because maybe the email doesn't exist, like their username is invalid or the password is invalid, well, now you determine that, hey, their authentication is not valid, So what do? You do something else. Maybe that something else is send them back to the same login page, but with a message saying invalid username and password. But if it is successful, you go down this other path. The other path is, okay, redirect them to like the home page and show them, their dashboard or whatever, right? I mean, that's all logical processing, and that's an example that's pretty basic, but it could easily become a little bit more complex, right? Not complex, more. You could easily have a lot more steps, at the end of the day than just that. When you're dealing with programming, you could have a scenario where let's say somebody's signing up to your like web app. So when they sign in, when they first create an account, then they have to, the process is they should receive an email to activate the account. Then they have to activate it. But let's say they don't activate it, but they try to log in. There has to be some logic that says, okay, this account exists, but they're not activated yet. So do this, right? This could be send them, back to the login page, regenerate the email, ask them, would you want to receive your activation link again? Something, right? I mean, there's all these different options. And if they do activate, then you need to, there's some logic that says, all right, they're activating. This is coming from the user that clicked on the link. There's this, to determine that aspect of it. And then of course, as it gets activated, you need to change some kind of status, right, to make them inactive or something. And then now the system, when they're trying to log in, is going to identify them like, hey, this user is active now. Let them through. But it helps in so many ways, dude. Like, I feel like beyond programming. I think that aspect that I just mentioned right now, I feel like a lot of newbies that are into that's starting off in programming, maybe they go to a boot camp and you learn the funnel, like you're learning how to write code, but it takes time to learn the logical, like the engineering, what I like to call it, right? The engineering aspect of programming, which is where like the rules come in, thinking of the process flow, what makes sense to accommodate these different scenarios that that may and can occur. But it's a big, again, just that reason alone, I think people should learn how to program for that reason. And then of course, the ones who find it enjoyable, dude, you can make good money once you get your foot in the door. So one of the things I'm actually excited about is we're about to release this new app that I've been working on, and I guess I could show y'all, man. Let me get in and show y'all real quick. So I'm under the left. So the actual website, the web app, is going to be app. So it's not live yet. That's what I'm doing over the weekend. But it will be app go share it.io. Right. So right now there's nothing, which makes sense. Yep, that makes sense. But the developer version that we have right now is called dev.goshareit.io. And ultimately, we've done a lot of testing. There's a few things that we're still working on to trying to wrap up. But I think we're ready. I just got the sign up piece completed today. So that seems to be functioning. When you register, you'll get an email activation link. You got to activate your account. Once you activate it, it sends you back to the login screen. Then you should be able to log in like normal and everything's fine. So I got that piece working. I got all the other aspects. If you want to reset your password, you can do it yourself. Of course, the login. And then right now, dashboard I'm still working on, but it's gonna be something basic for now. As you can tell, it just kind of shows total files shared, top download. So this is I should call it top downloaded file. This is a file that's being downloaded the most. So if you're sharing like 10 files, this is going to show the top one, whichever one's being downloaded the most. And this tells you, there it goes, top downloaded files. I should have put top downloaded count, I guess, or something. But either way, this will be an actual, this is the count. So this pretty much, in this file, been downloaded 3 times. Total, no, my bad. This is a total downloaded file. So out of all the files downloaded, all the files that I have available, they've been downloaded 3 times. They've been viewed 3 times. Then of course I'm sharing 2 files. So if I come over here, you can see got 2 files. This one's 0 and the top one is 3. My bad. This is 3. But overall, I mean, I think it's working. There's a few things, of course, like from a functionality, is working. There's a few things that I'm getting put together, like the privacy terms and conditions, the support link, and then also the profile piece, the analytics piece. So we have this analytics page. Analytics page is going to show you different stats of, stats of the files, your top files, kind of what I have in the dashboard, but just probably provide a little more details, some, other summaries available. Support will be the same thing. This guy, if there's any support needed, you could email support and then somebody would look into your issue if you have an issue, and of course sign out. And then settings and privacy. So settings, really going to be settings, not privacy. I need to fix that. But for settings, there's going to be a few things where we're going to give the user the ability to make some tweaks to it. And that's something that it will be done in the settings section. So that's something that, those are the few things that need to be put together. But nevertheless, the beta version of this is I'm going to be deploying over the weekend. It'll be ready by Monday. So technically, anybody that goes to that app.goshareit.io, and I'll put that on the chat. So app will be live. Will go live on what did I say? 5, 6, 7. App will go live on March 7th. The URL for app is app.goshareit.io. All right, so the reason why I'm putting the subdomain in front is the goshareit.io pass is going to be for the landing page, and it's going to kind of provide description of the page, of like the product ultimately, right? And then of course there will be a link on that page you could go to like log in, and then that'll take you to the login page of the app subdomain, which will be app.goshareit.io, on authorization, login, or something. So that's kind of what that's doing, right? And then of course I'm using the subdomain for dev environment and so on, and then there'll probably be one for test. But either way, overall functionality there is doing what it's supposed to do. I could try uploading a quick file. So let me just kind of pick. Let me pick. I don't want to pick too big of a file, but let me pick not a file that's a decent size at least. So I'm gonna pick this guy. It's about 96 megabytes. So okay size. It's a movie. So the way it works is there's a set duration. How long you want it to be available. I'm gonna have it available for 1 day. I'm gonna make it passcode, which means the select shared status, public and passcode. Public means what it is, right? Anybody with the URL could access it. Passcode means you need to have a 6-digit code, kind of like your phone. You're gonna put in your 6-digit number, for example, in order to access the file. And then, of course, the email shared file is if you're gonna share it with somebody, you just type in their email in here, and they'll get it. So, like for example, let me go ahead and email myself. Contact iamblue.net. So I'm gonna share this with myself. And let's do share file, and then you will see the upload progress go. And boom, it's at 100%. There it goes. Boom. File uploaded successful. Alright. So now we see it in here. So if I were to go to my email, oh man, I haven't pushed these changes. I actually made some changes to this, but I forgot this is not the new version yet. I haven't pushed out my source code yet for these changes. But either way, I'll get an email. You know, it'll specify which file is being shared, telling me who's sharing it with me. Then, of course, I could download it by clicking on the link. This is actually the old email template that I'm using. I have a new one. I just thought about it right now, though. I have not pushed those changes over to my to the dev environment yet, which is why it looks the way it looks. But it still looks something similar, but it's slightly different though. Either way, then of course you got the link. I could click on the link. So let me go ahead and do that. And as you can see, it's asking for the passcode. And of course, if I just click download file, passcode incomplete. So they cannot access the file unless they have a passcode. The way they get the passcode would be through an email. Whenever, again, kind of going back. So there should be a passcode. This is the old template, right? This got fixed. This issue got fixed already. It's just not applied in the. I just haven't pushed my changes yet. But nevertheless, there will be a section right here that would have the passcode. And then of course you just type in that 6-digit passcode, and boom, you have access to the file. So again, this is going live on Monday for the most app, and it's a beta version Monday, right? Which is why it's going to be free. Whoever registers and sign up, there's no charge, none of that stuff. Because I want people to test it out. I want to give people feedback. Any of y'all who are watching, who follow me, I'll appreciate it if you go and create an account and, man, give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Is it straightforward? Are there, is the sharing process straightforward? Is there too many steps? What can be done to make it easier? For example, are you having any issues, any bugs that you see where maybe you didn't get an email notice when you shared it with yourself or with somebody? Are you noticing going to junk a lot? I don't know, all of these things, right? Like, just kind of give me your feedback on what you think on some of these things. So like that, we could fix it and address it. But again, as you can see, it's doing what it's supposed to do. I did click on the link, I believe. So if I were to hit refresh, see, we have 2 views. So the view doesn't mean that you viewed the file. What it means is that you have viewed the downloaded page, right? So which, in order to view the downloaded page, you must have had clicked on the link to begin with. And then of course, if you actually download it, there's a counter here to determine how often, how many times it's been downloaded. So that's kind of what it does. But it's straightforward. And then of course you could make edits. You could share it with somebody. If this is your account, you got like 5 files in here, and you want to share it with somebody, you could easily just do share, send it over. Like these are public files. let's say you don't want to make them public no more. You want to make them um, passcode protected. So that's it. Make it password protected. Boom. It's password protected now. Right? Simple as that. So again, I try to keep it simple. Try to, you know, that's the goal anyways with this. Um, right now, again, very basic dashboard, um, shared items, and then of course easily can delete if you don't want it no more. So in my case, I'm gonna delete this bad boy. Oh, did I delete or no? Hold up, what happened here? All right, maybe I just found a bug. Oh, I clicked on download. So download's not working yet. That's one of the things I need to add. I So the thing with download is you as the owner of the account, you may want to access this file because you want to download it and view it, right? So if that's the case, but I need to add that. That's the only thing that's missing. I need to add. But if I want to delete, click on delete. Yep, delete. Boom, done. Again, pretty straightforward. Um, Overall, it's mobile friendly as well. Which I mean, nowadays everything should be mobile friendly, I think. So let's do. There are like some small issues, nothing big, but kind of small. You can tell with the file name so large here, it kind of overlaps on the side. Now, I do have it where you expand and you kind of see the other attributes down below, but it still overlaps because it's just so long. I need to see if there's a way to either have the file name stay within this range. Um, so let me just delete that, right? If I delete it, you could tell everything seems in order now because the file name doesn't pass that links. But if it does, it's one of those scenarios I need to fix. But again, man, it seems to be working fine overall. It's doing what it's supposed to do. Here's the dashboard, straightforward. But yeah, just wanted to share that with y'all. I am deploying all of my changes. So we're doing some testing. Me and my somebody from my team tomorrow morning. We're gonna be testing the sign up section. There's a few other sections, like some final testing that we're doing. Then of course tomorrow I'm gonna start setting up the production server. I'm gonna start setting up the production database that I'm gonna use. And then of course start deploying my code to the production server. Setting first, I need to create the server. I need to get the get my server up to date and make sure that I have Python, the version that I'm using installed, and kind of go through that whole process first. And then of course deploy my source code, and then ultimately I need to get my database set up. I do have a Postgres production database that I use for some of my other clients. I'm still trying to debate if I should use that same database for this app or not. I think it makes sense to use it in the short term, but if I start getting a lot of activity, I just don't want it to slow down that database because I do use it for a lot of my integration projects that I have. And there's already a lot of activity going on that Postgres database. So that's kind of where I'm trying to still debate. I think what I may end up doing is just creating. So I use AWS for my web services. Is creating a RDS instance. So I did the level up everything in Postgres. But what I may end up doing for the production database, I think I'm leaning towards doing it. I'm going to end up using the Amazon Aurora. Yeah, Amazon Aurora. Oh, shit. Cause pretty much Amazon Aurora, it's at least my interpretation of it is Amazon took MySQL and Postgres and souped it up. That's what they did. They added all these extra bells and whistles to it. Make kind of like a car. You soup it up. You know, um, I need to just look at from a cost perspective of how much that would be compared to just a traditional Postgres. So let's take a look at that real quick. Where's pricing? I'm not sure how small you could go with Aurora compared to. I know Postgres you could start off small and then I could always upskill it as needed. Um, so let me look at the database engines. No, that's not what I was looking for. Amazon Aurora. I do like the from a performance standpoint, right? Like in this case, 3 times the throughput of standard Postgres. That's awesome, man. Especially if it's for like the same cost. I mean, I think it makes sense to go down the route. Um, but what I am curious, because I don't see on here, I don't want to log in right now. There it goes, Aurora. So, and that's kind of what I thought, right? They're the smallest size they had, the medium, large. But I think it's fine because I think that was the route that I was gonna start off with, anyways. It was gonna be the standard medium size. So, like, what is the size? Let's look at the where can I see this T4G medium? There it goes. No, that's not it. It's not in here. Where is it? It's always a pain in the ass sometimes to try to find the like what this means. I see the cost, but I want to see what that entails from a CPU, from a resource standpoint. And it's always finding it to be a pain in the ass sometimes. So let's see. And then under pricing, no, I'm not pricing. Let me go to where is it at, man? Why the hell y'all make it this hard? There it goes. Finally, though. No, this is not it. This is the price. This is not what I want. I need to look at the instance types. So where can I find the? There it goes. Instant type. That's what I was looking for. So TG4 medium. That's what it is. This guy. So 2 virtual CPUs. So I believe 2 virtual CPUs on it. What kind of processor? So this is using the ARMS processor architecture, right? So that's what this is. Their AWS processor, Gen 2. So that means these is actually two vCPUs. I believe represents 2 cores. I'm trying to think. I think I read it somewhere. Where is it? Where is it? I just swear I read it somewhere, but I believe, if I recall, um, ARM processors, one vCPU represents 1 core, whereas a a non-ARM process, right? Which would be your what is it? Your, like your AMD and your Intel like Xeon processor, or what's the one that AMD makes? Shit, can't think of the name. But either way, those and one core. In order to get one core, you need two vCPUs to to equal one core. But for ARM processor, two vCPUs equals two cores. Um, so in this case, this would represent two cores and 4 gigs of RAM. And this is fine. I think it's fine because what the app is going to be doing is, so there's an upload process where you upload the file and it's going to go to the server, right? So as the user, let me think about it. What I think, let me pour me another drink. Oops. Damn, what the hell? My camera kind of blurry. All right, I think that's fine. So, kind of going back to what I was saying, it still feels blurry, man. Why is that? Okay. So what I was saying was the app that I'm about to release. So the way it works is the user would use their browser to upload a file, right? So when they upload a file, let's say they're uploading a 100 megabyte file. Video, probably a good example, right? That's a file that size. So they're uploading it. It saved that file first. So you got the client, their computer, then you got the server over here. This file is going to get uploaded to the server in the temp folder. After it finished uploading to the temp folder, then part of my code is to go ahead and take that file and then move it over to an AWS S3 bucket. And then once it finishes moving it over, it would delete it from the server, so it'll free up, right? So if it happens to be 100 megabytes, that means I need to make sure I have a hard drive big enough to handle multiple files being saved, temporarily. And then once it finished moving it over to AWS, it'll delete, right? So just kind of free it up. So, which I think it's fine in the beginning. I'll probably start off small. When I say small, 50 gigabytes or so worth of hard drive space available for storage. And then of course, once I see more and more activity happening, and based on the amount of data that's being uploaded, if it happens to be, I don't know, 40 gigs at a time, because there's 100 people uploading files like during prime peak hours of the day, because at the end of the day, at nighttime, the activity normally always stops probably in the middle of the day, within that 11 o'clock to 3 o'clock or whatever time frame. That's probably, you have, especially when you have a lot of subscribers, you probably have higher peak activity where people are doing things all together within the same time frame. So again, if I have 100 users and each one is uploading an average file of 5 megabytes, well, those 100 users are total will be 500 megabytes. My bad. What did I say? Megabytes? Yeah, that's actually not a lot. If that's the case. It would have to be more like if those 100 users are uploading 100 megabyte file each. Well, then that adds up. That ends up being probably like 5 gigs, I guess, or something like that. Which is why 50 gigs I think is enough to begin with. But then the volume increased from 100 users to 1,000 users at a time uploading. Well, now you go from 5 megabytes to 50 megabytes, and eventually, once you know, at least for now, you can just easily add more hard drive space to eventually probably got 500 gigs. You know, but that's the process, right? Uploads it, saves it temporarily, move it to an S3 bucket. So what happens is whenever they get ready to download, the the file that got saved in the S3 bucket, I actually changed the name. It's not the same name that the user uploaded the file as. And I did that for different reasons, because if a user were to upload the same file twice, they upload one file and then they upload another file. Those are actually two different files in my system. Instead of like overriding the existing file and then having a version, they become two separate files. Um, so that means when they get saved over in the S3 bucket, I changed the name to some other unique value, so they could stay unique in the S3 bucket. Either way, when somebody gets ready to download, there's some processing that I'm doing, try to like encrypt and decrypt and so on. Not encrypt, encode and decode. There's some encoding and decoding involved in the process, but either way, it's able to identify which file, like which unique name I initially created, and then of course it goes and calls the S3 bucket to download that file. Then of course once it downloads it, it feeds and just sends it on over to the user, and they save. So it's pretty straightforward. There are challenges that I'm expecting to see. Like I do have a limit right now. I believe the limit size that I put on the server, anyways, is 5 gigabytes is the limit that I put on there. I need to see if about controlling that limit on the front end side as well. But I know on the server side, even if they try to upload a bigger file than that, it's not gonna allow them to do that. So I have the server set up to that. I need to do some testing to see from the application standpoint, if I were to try to do that, would it allow me to? Would it allow me up front? Would it stop me up front, or would it just allow me to start the uploading process until it hits that 5 gigabyte size range, and then of course the server would just kind of block it after that because it exceeded the size. I'm not sure. That's something I need to test out. But there are little things like that, right? Which is why I'm releasing it under it's going to be beta. It's going to be free. I want people to test it out. I want to see what kind of issues may occur. Then once all of that gets straightened out, then there'll be a subscription base to it. I think the pricing point right now would be $5 a month if you get it like a year subscription. Like you pay a year up front, right? Which is $60 a year. Or you do a month per month, like purchase, it'll be $7 a month. So that's kind of what I'm thinking from a price point. What it's going to be. The company that I will say is doing something very similar to that. Like if I were to find, well, who's my competition? It is this guy. Dropbox transfer. So let's kind of go to Dropbox transfer. That's not what I wanted. Shit. There it goes. So now everybody knows Dropbox. At least I think most people know what Dropbox is. So Dropbox is what I would call a storage first, then share second. Like it's all about storing your files, and then from there, you could share it with other people within Dropbox. I believe they started adding some features that you can share outside of Dropbox, but you need to I'm trying to think. I think I don't know. I think within Dropbox, I don't think you can. They have to be within the Dropbox ecosystem. But they have this new, I like to call this other um, add-on that they did. Not even an add-on. It's kind of standalone because you actually got to pay for this. So if you have a Dropbox account and if you want to use this new service, which is called Dropbox Transfer, you got to pay for this separately. So those are two different payments you got to make every month. One for Dropbox, which is, I don't know, what is it, 12, 16 bucks a month. And then this one, I believe, is $10 a month to month, or $8 a month if you pay like for the whole year. But ultimately, what they're doing here is this is more of a an app just to be able to share files, which is kind of what I'm doing, right? And they're promoting it more like, yeah, you can share big files. Then of course they're doing a lot of the stuff that I kind of built on mine as well, which was the password protection, things of that level. So that's kind of what they're doing on their app, and that's kind of what I'm doing on my app as well. So I think whenever I look at my app, this is what I would probably consider my competition by all means. Now they're a big company by all means. I'm not trying to really compete with them in that manner, but nevertheless, my app. This is the app that my app is very similar to, like real similar in a lot of ways. Um, so, but my app will be cheaper than their app slightly. And I don't see them really promoting this app either. If anything, I think what they should have done, they should have bundled this Dropbox transfer platform with their original Dropbox app, subscription. So you just kind of get all of that bundled together for free. Like when I say for free, like if you're paying for the Dropbox subscription, they didn't do that, man. I think that's a big loss on their side. Like I think they did it this way to get, we want more money. So I get it, but man, I think it's a big loss. They should have bundled it together. I think if they would have bundled it together, then I'll be more worried with my app for sure. But I think because they didn't do that, somebody who had a Dropbox account, dude, that sucks. I would be kind of pissed off for that because you got to pay more. So either way, that's kind of where I'm gonna start now. Um, I'm gonna have my app release, which is Go Share It, Monday. It's gonna get deployed over the weekend. It should be up and ready to go live on Monday. And then of course I got a few people already that they're gonna start doing some testing. Not testing. They're gonna subscribe to it, and I guess for testing. But again, it's live. Technically, it's a beta version of live. We've been doing our own testing already before we go live, and I think we're in a good place, which is why we're gonna go live on Monday. But I got a few people that I'm gonna ask. They're gonna be testing it out as well, using it. And I don't know why I keep saying test. Test not a good word. They're gonna start using it, and then hopefully, because it is in beta version, there's little bugs. We'll get those addressed until we actually release the subscription version of it, or like the paying version of it, I guess. And there's a few things that we're gonna add as well. Like there's gonna be a few features that we're gonna add on the paid version, and then of course we're gonna have a free version. The free version would be, you're limited to the amount of files you could share. For example, maybe it'll be 50 files max. Those are the amount of files that you're able to share. Also, when you do share, for example, right now you have the ability to do public or passcode. Well, one of the options that we're going to add on here, but this is for the paid version, is going to be password as well. So if you want to generate your own password and tie that to the file, then that means you need to have that password in order for people to to access the file. Right now, in order to add at least a level of security, we got the what's called passcode, where you need to type in the 6-digit number in order to access the file. Without it, you can't. Same thing with the duration. The free version would have 1 hour, 1 day, 7 days. The paid version, we're gonna extend this out to about 6 months. So if you want to have a file, share it, have it available for people to download for 6 months, you can. Eventually, after 6 months, it'll just kind of it'll delete itself automatically. So those are a few things that we're going to add on the paid version. I think one of the other things we talked about as a team that we're going to do is we're going to add like a share group module where you could like kind of create like a distribution group, right? Let's say you create, let's say if you share video with your editors, right? Like you're a YouTuber and you share video with people that do your editing for YouTube. It's always a group of like 2 or 3 people because they work as a team type deal. So like that's a good example. You create a group and you may call it, YouTube editors or something. Well, in that group, you could add them through their email. So whenever it comes to sharing a file, right? So let's say you're gonna upload a new file, you select the file, and then when it comes to share email file, you wouldn't have to type in the email 3 times. You just type in the group name, right? Whether it be YouTube, you know, editors or something like that. But either way, you would type in the group name, and then by default, the app will know which emails to send it to, and they just send it over. So those are some of the little features that when you plan, once we do release the subscription version of the paid version, that we're gonna add to the app. So I'm excited, man. Like I'm excited to see how that turns out. Um, Again, it may be nothing. It may be a dud, and if that's the case, I mean that's fine, right? I mean can't do nothing about it. If that is what happened, that's what happens, right? It is what it is. At the end of the day, you gotta try stuff, and that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying stuff, right? Um, building this app, and I'm gonna try to see if I can make this app be successful. It may not be successful. I may release it. I may get very little subscribers. From a revenue, it may only be bringing in a couple $100 a month at best. Like that may be the outcome of it, and that's fine. At least at the end of the day, I tried it. I put effort behind it. I did, I gave it a shot compared to not doing shit and then expecting or having the mindset, oh, it wasn't gonna work out anyways. You don't know until you do it, man. That's the difference. You don't know until you do it. So that's the one thing I tell everybody, man. Don't ever sell yourself short. Like you gotta try stuff. If you really want to be successful with something, or you want something to be successful, you have to put effort into it, man. You gotta do your best. You gotta attack it. You need to do something. You just can't be, well, it wasn't gonna work out anyways. Well, I was gonna fail regardless. You don't know you're gonna fail. Maybe you do. Who cares, right? At least you tried. Because I do feel when you have that kind of mindset and you kind of, you have that mentality. Here's the one thing, man, for all of y'all who are afraid to try things because of you fail. The more that you fail, you're gonna get, how can I say it? You get used to it, but you get used to it in a good way where it's kind of like the opposite. Like, you know what? I failed. Like, I'm working on this task, and I have failed 50 times. But you know what? That means as I'm failing, I'm making changes. I'm making tweaks. I'm refining it. I'm getting better at it. And then eventually, what happens is like, dude, I'm gonna hit. Like, I'm gonna hit. Like, same thing. You start a business, it failed. Okay, you can start another business that may fail. But you know what? If you got that mindset of, you know what, I learned my mistakes. I made a mistake here because I hired nothing but friends and family, and they took advantage of it. Boom! You don't do that next time. Next time, you change it up, and you don't do that. If you just happen to have crappy friends and crappy families, it is what it is. But again, you learn from it. You make changes, and eventually you're gonna release a business. You're gonna be like, damn, this business is on fire. This business is clicking. I have an awesome team. It's business making a lot of money. So all of those failures, who cares, right? It doesn't matter no more. Because at the end of the day, you end up hitting and you end up doing well. But you gotta keep doing it, man. You can't have this mindset of, well, I tried and I failed, and or whatever, man. You just can't do that, man. Again, I like the smell, man. The smell of the tequila is good. The taste, I like. Here's the thing. I do like it, man. I do overall like it. There's something about the taste, though, man. I'm trying to pinpoint it, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but I'm not. I don't know if it's in a good way either. It's in a different way. That's probably the better word to say. It's in a different way, but I'm still trying to determine if it's in a good way, if it's in a just a slightly good way, or if it's a slightly not so good way. Again, it is good. I think for the price, how much was it? $29, dude. Like, I don't think you can go bad with it for that price. It's a good price. It's not bad, man. Anytime you can find a what I want to talk when I want to say a good, like, so from a 1 out of 10, it's not a 10. I would probably say it's a good maybe 8, 7.5. I will say it's within that range, and it's not bad, man. I think that's a good score. Like 5 will be average, like just okay, but this is a 7.5. Like I don't think that's a pretty solid score. This guy here, man, I would have to put at a man 8.5 probably or so around there. This is good, man. Again, I keep showing this and talking about it. Cabo Wabo. I like this tequila. It's good. But I'm excited, man. I'm excited to get this app released. Um, and again, here's the thing. That's one part of it, man. Once it gets released, then you got to deal with the other. There's some other challenges involved. Well, how do I get my app out there? Like, how do people even know about my app? I mean, of course, initially I'm going to be communicating with at least the network that I have, which will be LinkedIn and Twitter and YouTube and things of that nature. But again, that's still very limited, right? It's a very small group overall. Um, but nevertheless, that's where I'm going to start. Eventually, I will need to do some marketing on it. Um, but again, before I think I'm going to start doing marketing soon. But nevertheless, I did need to get it out there so I could start getting people to start testing and start using it. The more people that use it, again, I don't know why I keep saying testing. The more people that use it, I'll be able to get better data, better insights of what works, what doesn't work. How can I make it better if there are things that it seems to, um, what's the word? Not, like too many steps, right? I guess if there's a process that maybe requires too many steps, why? How would I make it easier? Things of that nature, right? But we've been doing a lot of testing, man. We've been testing on different devices. We've been testing on mobile like crazy, iOS, Android, Safari, Chrome, Firefox, you name it, different browsers. Trying to get there little bugs. I'm trying to which browser was it that had some issues. I think it was Chrome. That's what it was. So it was Chrome on an iPad. It acted odd. So by odd I mean when you clicked on download, like let's say if you share it with somebody, the person you share it with, they're trying to open it in their iPad, and they click on download. What happened was it was trying to display that image or that file on the browser. Now that's fine when you're dealing with like a video or a JPEG or PNG or something of that sort, right? That or a text file even. That works fine. You could do that. Where it doesn't work fine is when it's like an Excel file. If it's a ISO file or with these other types of file that like a binary type file, that doesn't work. You cannot open it in the browser. So it was causing that was just very weird, and it was causing issues But those are a lot of little nuances, right? That you kind of come to realize and you find out as you start doing testing. Then of course you try to address the one that you can. At least you try to identify some of these issues. Because again, we may once we go live, we're probably going to get some requests of some issue like, hey, we got this issue here, or at least if we're aware of it, we could try to address it sooner rather than later. So, but I'm excited, man. I really am excited about it. Again, man, y'all have any questions, man? Let me know. More than happy to hear anything. Again, we're drinking. We could just drink and talk. That's fine. If there's anything tech related that you want to talk about, by all means, I'm all ears. So that's what we're gonna do, man. We're drinking and talking tech, or talking anything, right? But nevertheless, if you want to talk tech, this is the time to do it. I don't know if I want to do it this weekend. I was initially I was thinking of doing it this weekend, but then I started thinking about like, dude, I can't. We're gonna release my app this weekend, so I'm gonna be busy with that all weekend. But ultimately, I'm gonna redo so I'm in my office right now. So those of you who may not know, I work from home. I have my own business. I turned in one of my rooms in my house into an office. So as you can tell, I have a whiteboard it's literally set up like a actual office, man. I don't have no bed in here or nothing. I have a whiteboard in the back. So I'm in front of one of my computers here. I have one monitor here on top, another monitor on like in the bottom in front of me. Then I have another monitor over here on the side, up and down. Of course, I have my camera right here. Have my computer over here. So this computer, like this system that I'm using right now, I use it for streaming, which is what I'm doing now, and I use it for gaming. So it is a Windows PC. I have a 6900 XT GPU, which is awesome, dude, awesome. I have a 3700X AMD CPU, which is good. Man, I really haven't had issues, but I think I'm getting to the point where it's probably going to be time to upgrade. But when I do upgrade, I'm upgrading motherboard, CPU, and RAM. So those are the three. I guess AIO as well. I had an AIO, but I ended up using it on my other build. And I'll talk about that in a minute. So, and probably the case too, man. I think I need to upgrade the case. I don't know, the case works, but I don't know, man. I need to think about it. I could still use the case. I think the case is doable. I'm just trying to think because my GPU that I bought, my 6900 XT, it is a Red Devil 6900 XT. So of course it has some RGB, which is some red light that come out. Unless I could change that light to be like a white color, then I think I may need to get another build and then ultimately change my fans that right now are just strictly white lights on the fans, and probably get again RGB, kind of have like more of the red theme to it, where my gaming PC would be more red black type colors, right? Be all black, red, and probably a little bit of white here and there. So, but if I do that, I need to get another case. But either way, that's what I'm working on here. Over here to the right of my side, I have my workstation. So I actually have 4 monitors there, up, bottom, top, then bottom, top, 4 monitors. I have, what do I have over here? I have a 5700 XT GPU. I have a Intel Gen 11 i7 11700K, 8,000 watt platinum power supply, a terabyte of M.2, and then of course I have an AIO as well. So either way, I use that machine for work. I run a VM on it that I use like all the time. So that VM is using up about like 12 gigs of RAM. Oh yeah, I have 64 gigs of RAM on that machine. So 12, I use 12 for my VM that I have run all the time. The stuff that I run on there is like SSMS. It's so. I guess I should let me step back. This machine is actually it's a Linux built, but I have a VM that runs Windows because there's certain applications I need to run that are Windows based, like a Power BI desktop, SSMS, two of the main ones, and then also native Excel, not a spreadsheet app. Like there are spreadsheet apps like like Google and even Office 365. Like you could open up Excel in the browser, and or even Linux has their own version of it. So I get it. You could use spreadsheets on like different ways, but I need native Excel application as well because sometimes I may receive files from a client that they're using Power Query, like some of these other features that only exist in Excel. When I say Excel, I don't mean like the browser Excel version, the desktop version only. So either way, those are some of the apps that I have that I always have open and running. So that's what I have on my VM. Then of course I have just on my Linux machine. I do whatever else I'm working. Right, I have database applications open. I have remote desktop open because I do remote into my Windows server machines. Terminals open because I do remote into my Linux server machines. Then of course the browser, then other apps that I have that I use like Postman, stuff like that that I end up using for work. But again, I have 64 gigs of RAM. I use on average, my machine is always using anywhere between, I'm gonna say 24 to 32 gigs of RAM. It's always fluctuating within that range. So even though it's 64 gigs of RAM, I got it because I knew I was going to use at least 32 gigs, which I do sometimes use 32 gigs. But I got enough RAM where if whatever reason I need to spin up another VM or whatever, I have enough memory for that and I'm fine. So then of course on the way they have another little desk on the right of on that side, and I have my MacBook Pro just by itself right now. But either way, I forgot on this side I actually have my server rack. I have a desktop that I'm using that I'm actually going to turn into my NAS machine, NAS storage. I have an actual server, and I have a few, I think like two Windows instances running on there right now, and I think I have one Linux running as well. Then of course I have um, my switch. I actually have two switches. One switch is a 24 port switch. My other switch is a 16 port switch with PoE. So I have two switches, and then of course I have the my Wi-Fi antenna as well, my mesh connection, and then what else do I have? My power supply for my machine. Either way, I'm gonna rearrange everything. You kind of see a little bit on the back where I have my wall panels. So on that wall right there, I'm gonna be moving this computer and moving it that way. So whenever I start streaming going forward, you're actually gonna see that wall. And then I'm gonna start adding some other stuff, probably some RGB, other things as well. But either way, you're gonna see that the panels and everything. I'm gonna move my work computer over here where I'm at now. So either way, it's a big project. It's gonna be at least a few hours probably. I'm gonna have to shut everything down, unplug everything, take everything out, rearrange everything. Probably while I do that, go ahead and clean, make sure to dust everything, and blow dry my machines and do all of that stuff as well. Then rearrange the furniture, the desk, and just start replugging everything. So plus it makes it easier too. Once I move this over, it is gonna be kind of in the open, like my desk. But like my camera right now, man, it's so hard to kind of move out the way if I need to move it. Just kind of where that's like in this real tight spot, so I can't really pull it out and put it back in. But over here, once I put it there, I can easily move it out, put it back. It makes it a lot easier. So I'll probably end up doing a video of that, of me going through that process of rearranging and kind of showing a before and after look to how everything looks. time is it? It's 10:45. So been streaming since 9 so far. And so normally it's from 9 to 11. So we got about another 15 minutes. So we'll see how things and again, any of y'all have any questions, man, let me know. If you want to come join us every Friday, let me know. Once I do release my app, man, I appreciate it if y'all take a look, man. It's free. You go create an account, start playing around with it. Give me your feedback. Let me know if you found any issues, what they are. Let me know if you like it, if you don't like it. Let me know if you find any use for it. You know, any use cases that you feel like, man, yeah, this works very well for that, or works very well for, you know, this and so on. Man, we already in March, guys. March, man. I swear it feels like time is flying by. March. Damn. I don't know about y'all, man, but I'm telling you, time is going by way faster. And I don't know, that just means that I'm getting older, perhaps. But I remember when we were young, man. We used to go to Six Flags. So my mom used to get these tickets. She used to get them discount tickets at her job. Like she had to pay for it, but it was like a pretty steep discount, like half off, I believe. So we were like, it was like this big deal. Like, so we're kind of poor growing up. We didn't have enough money. By the time I was like, you know, I don't know, 12 or whatever, 13, around that range. My parents doing a little bit better, but by all means, we were not even close to being like well, just good, barely good. Like, you know, when I say good, like you got enough to pay your bills, then you have a few extra bucks extra for something. Like we were just at that point. Um, so at least if some kind of tragedy happened or something happened, right? And you know, we were at least good for maybe a few more weeks, you know, before we were like, damn, we're gonna be suffering pretty much. But either way, um, my mom got some. She used to get discounts every year. It's a once a year deal. So like all of my cousins, they're like, yeah, yeah, like, you know, their parents used to give my mom money. Like, here's money. Can you buy them tickets too? I believe. I'm trying to think. So this is back, man. I don't want to tell my age because then I'm gonna be telling how old I am. But either way, tickets back then when we used to go, and this was kind of pricey, man. At least for us, it was pretty pricey, anyways. But I want to say it was like $32, $30 maybe a ticket. Like, what are they now? Now they're like what, $50 or something. Either way, I don't know, but they were like 30 bucks a ticket. And so it was like $30 a ticket. So half all that $15. So man, it was a deal. We used to go, and I remember, man, we used to like be waiting on like the week before. Man, can't wait to go, man. Can't wait to go. And then it was like that Friday night. It was always on a Saturday, and it was packed, dude. Like it was packed. Like they must have been giving this deal to like many other companies or something, because it was so damn packed. Like where it used to take like 30, 40 minutes just to even get in the park. Then of course once you're in, you know, well, forget the parking, not the park. It used to take about a good 30 minutes just to be able to get in the parking lot and park. And then you got to walk. And then just to get into the park, another 20, 30 minutes. And then, of course, you know, then you got to get in line. And you're waiting in line for about an hour minimum each ride. It was all just that pack. But either way, we used to go, and I remember the night before, it felt like time was going so slow. Can't wait to go, man. Ready to go to sleep so I could wake up, we could go, and so on and so on. Where now, dude, like time, it's like, dude, I wish I had more time. Like, I don't know, man. It's one of those deals where you don't really realize it, especially when you're young. You don't realize it, but when you get older, like, dude, like, I wish I had more time. That's the one thing that lacks, and I wish I had more of. Um, so I guess try to make the best of it, right? Try to enjoy life as we can and make the best of it. That's all we can do. What time is it? 10:51. So we got about 9 minutes left. Unless somebody mentioned something that required me to continue on and stay a little bit longer. But if not, be about 9 more minutes, and then call it a day streaming. So later on today, I am gonna be on Twitch. Well, it's already late, but after this, um, I'm trying to think. Yes, after this, I'm gonna take a little break. Probably be maybe around midnight. I'll be back on, but this time I'm gonna be streaming on Twitch only, and I'm gonna be playing Halo. So if you're interested in that, I thought about doing it on my YouTube channel, but I feel that I almost feel like it will hurt it negatively if I did. I have heard certain people be like, well, if you're talking about a specific subject and then you start switching, let's say if I'm talking about tech, then I switch to gaming, it almost seems like either Google's algorithm or whatever, the way they determine certain things gets out of whack, and then now it just makes things worse. So again, because of that, I haven't really been trying to even stream on my YouTube channel, but I don't know, I may create another channel that's strictly for gaming only, and then of course I may stream on that channel as well. So I'll be streaming on Twitch and YouTube, but on my gaming YouTube channel, I may need to do that. Um, I guess I need to think about that, but either way, I'll be on Twitch later on tonight, probably around midnight or so, 12:30 around there. Stream for a bit, dude. I've been playing Halo, man. I've been into Halo a lot. I'm a big fan of it, dude. We used to play Halo when I was younger, back Halo 2, and it was back then we really played with, like, you had online, you could play online by all means. It's not like online didn't exist back then, because it did, but a lot of the games that I recall playing, um, so we used to always go to a buddy's house, and it was always a lot of people there, man. Like, we had a lot of us there, so we used to play. Again, it was on Xbox, but it was always like four of us playing. And then of course my buddy had a pretty good sized TV, so like everybody had their corner. And man, we used to play for hours, dude, hours. Like, especially on weekends, man, we all get together. It was one of those deals where we probably start around like 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and man, we used to play till like 2 to 3 in the morning, dude. And then normally after that, we're like, we used to play and then also have some drink as well and stuff. And then of course after that, we're like, man, you know what? Let's go get something to eat. We used to go like Waffle House or something, IHOP, because at 3 o'clock at night, there's not much that's open. It was fun, man. I gotta say, it was fun. Something about, like, I play online and it's fun, but there's something about just physically being with other people, especially people that you knew, and you're playing, you're talking shit to each other, and they're right there next to you, like, got your ass, bitch, or whatever. I mean, just all that stuff, right? It just something about it, man. It was so much fun. We even a few times, we did it a few times where my buddy's brother, so he got an Xbox as well, and he had an Xbox set up in his room, and his brother had an Xbox set up in his room, and of course you in Xbox you were able to use the Ethernet cable and just connect the two Xboxes together. By doing that, now you could play with each other. So I remember it was like 2 times that we did this, where it was like 4 against 4. So we actually had like 8 people in the house that was playing Xbox with each other. It was 4 against 4. We were playing teams, so that team stayed in one room. Dude, that was awesome, man. Like, I had so much fun doing that. Like, I still recall that it was real fun, man. I gotta say, like, I was a big like. It's just something about that, dude. Like we used to win or lose or whatever, but when we win, we used to go run into the other room and just talk mad shit to them and be like, you know, just all kinds of shit, man. All kinds of trash talking involved, and we used to even do some betting too. Like, hey, whoever loses, we used to let's say, you know, I don't know, a couple of bucks, right, or something, $2, $3 each or whatever, and then whatever team wins, everybody has to pay $2, $3 or whatever, and then to the winning team if they lost. Or we used to do like even drinking. We were drinking. We're like, all right, whoever team loses, need to take a shot. And again, it was just we used to do all kinds of stuff, man. It was fun, man. It was fun. Like I do miss those times, man. Especially now that I'm gaming again. I've been streaming. Um, or just gaming in general, man. I really would love to do that again. Um, yeah, that was fun though, man. That's all I could say. So what is it? 10:56. We got a few more minutes before I'm going to come off my live stream. Again, those of y'all, anybody who joins on right now, whatever, um, I do. I make some YouTube videos related to Python programming. If you have any questions, man, any questions or whatever, send me a comment on one of my videos. You could email me at contact@iamlou.net. You feel free to do that as well. And then I'll do what I can to help you out. So I have a plan of something that I want to do, but I'm actually been waiting on doing it for different reasons. Because I've been real busy getting my app released that I'm about to release. I've been busy on some other projects that I'm working on as well, like with my company. But the thing that I do want to do, but if I do it, I want to make sure I do it well, is create a small team. And I think initially it's probably going to be me and one other person. But this other person that I would end up hiring that will be working for me or with me, better yet, we would focus on YouTube specific stuff, right? Like related to programming. So we'll come up with different subjects to talk about and put like a whole package together of like a tutorial of how to do certain things and kind of explain it, right? More presentable. Right now, I think I've been doing it, but been kind of just very slapped together. I mean, I think I've been getting a lot of feedback, like good compliments, and I appreciate it. So I think it's been at least helpful, but I think it could be better structured, right? Which is number one. Number two, the main thing is, as people have issues and questions, where ultimately I want to have a team, a small team, and if for at least initially be one person, but ultimately a small team, where that would be our goal, man. Our goal is going to be like focus, and I haven't seen nobody do this on YouTube, which is why I want to do it as well, because I think it's something new. But think of it as almost like a help. I don't want to call it a help desk or help request, but it's kind of what it is, right? Where you would reach out to us and we would try to help you out if you have issues. If you have bugs in your code, we would try to help you out. But I would have a team that we would be able to be dedicated to focus on that, right? To provide guidance, to provide, to do that. Because I know there are a lot of people that get stuck on certain items. They're like, man, I'm working on the project. The documentation sucks on the package that I'm using. I'm stuck. I don't know what to do. And, that's where we could probably help out as well. but that's kind of what I'm leaning towards, building a small team like that. Then of course when we do live streams like this, especially as the channel grows and we get more viewers, there will probably be viewers asking like, hey, can we review my source code? Then I would have a team and we would actually be able to now have more focus on it and more better chance of solving it live as we stream and do all of that. Or you'll be able to see the process on how we do research on how to figure out certain things and things of that nature. So that's an idea that I have that I want to do. I just haven't done it for a few reasons, but if I do it, I need to hire somebody to really help me out, because I have been real busy with my business, and then of course I'm releasing my app, but I want to get in a good spot. I want to make sure that we're in a good spot to do that, where I can hire somebody and then roll something, test it out, see how it works. Maybe it doesn't, maybe it flops, that's fine, but at least test it out, see how it works. And if it does, man, hopefully it's beneficial for y'all. That's all. At the end of the day, that's the goal, right? Like, I'm not once have you ever seen me ask for any kind of financial donations or any of that sort, right? That's not what I'm seeking. That's not what I'm asking for. I'm just trying to really, hopefully, help y'all out. And then at the end of the day, man, all I ask for is a thumbs up if possible or a follow, and that's it, man. That's the only thing I will, if I do ask, is going to be that. So let's see what time it is. It's already 11:01. So I think I'm at a point now, man. We're gonna find a stopping point. You know what? I actually started a few minutes late, so I show that I actually have 3 more minutes left. I've been streaming for an hour and 57 minutes. So I'll stay. I'm gonna stay the full 2 hours, because that's what I have scheduled, full 2 hours. So I'll stay to then. And so if anybody jumps in with any questions or any subjects they want to talk about, hey, we could talk about it. I'm very excited for this year, man. Like there's a few things that I have and that I want to do. I know I can't do all of them though, so I need to be strategic of what I do and how I do it properly. And then on top of that, I want to make sure that I do it right. Like one of the things that I do want to do this year is really build up my YouTube channel. I want to spend more time and effort on my YouTube channel. How I mentioned to you, I want to build a small team of not social media people to help edit and not things of that nature, but more of a small team so we could better provide more. The way I look at it, so we could better provide service for the viewer, man. I have viewers that are programmers that sometimes, hey, they need help with something, right? And that's something I want to be able to do. Be able to have a team where, let's help you out. Let's see what your issue is. Let's see how can we address that issue. We could provide you with guidance of best practice. We could help you to find a solution for that issue. Like all of that stuff, right? That's where I want to eventually be and get to. And I kind of want to do it like sooner rather than later, but I don't want to do it yet until I'm able to build a small team to do so. Because I feel if I do it right now without the small team, I'm very scattered right now doing different things that I feel like that potentially could fall through the cracks, and it won't get the support that it should have. But if I have a small team that I'm actually paying to do some of these things, then it will be part of the job. So even though I would be involved as well, but there's times that I would have to step out and work on other stuff, they could, help do some of the research, right? And we're trying to solve an issue that you may have that maybe we don't know the answer to, but we need to do research. They could at least help out and do some of the research, do some of the testing. Then eventually we'll kind of put things together, work together to find the overall solution. And then we could, again, all of this stuff would be all just, we'll make videos out of it. So again, we create content from it as well. We'll do streaming from it. So things, whenever we do live streams, we'll be able to solve some of these problems on the spot, on the fly, to help out people that need help. So that's where I want to get. That's where I'm kind of envisioning. Um, but it's going to take some time. But at the minimum, I think what I need to just continue on doing is doing what I'm doing here in my live streams, but also continue to make some videos, throughout the week, at least one video a week if possible, to kind of build up my channel, and then eventually try to build that team that I want to build. That's the plan, anyway. So we'll hopefully things work out that way. We'll see. All right, guys. So it's been 2 hours now since I've been streaming. Again, I will be on every Friday, 9 p.m. Central to 11 p.m. Central. So if you want to join, just talk. We're going to hang out, have drinks, talk tech, all of that, man. Come and join. And, man, be happy to hear what you have to say. We could talk about different things. Again, those of y'all who joined, appreciate it. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for watching. And y'all have a good night, man. See y'all again next week.